Hey everyone, and welcome back to the AEC Unstuck channel. It seems like everywhere you look today, the world is buzzing about artificial intelligence. With the mainstream rise of tools like ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini, it feels like we've suddenly entered a brand new era. But I want to share a different perspective. In the AEC industry, we didn't just wake up to this yesterday. The overnight success of AI is actually the result of work that started decades ago. For me, that journey really accelerated back in 2011 with the CIFE organization at Stanford on multiple generative AI research projects. One of those projects, working with Forrest Pfleger and his multidisciplinary optimization (MDO) methodology, led to a proprietary tool for our energy projects that was absolutely transformative. We achieved a 90% reduction in the time it took to design wind turbine layouts, road alignments, and electrical distribution, while simultaneously driving down the cost of energy for our clients. It was proof, even then, that AI wasn't just a buzzword, it was a massive value driver. But Forrest's work was only one piece of the puzzle. The video I'm reposting today for our OpEx 5 audience is a keynote speech I gave back in 2016. It captures a pivotal moment where we were exploring the other side of that research journey, applying AI to the complex world of construction planning and scheduling. In this talk, you'll hear me discuss how we began moving away from the old manual way of authoring a single plan and into what I call the multi-dot universe, a world where machines do the heavy lifting so humans can do what we do best: collaborate and solve problems. I'm sharing this now because to truly get unstuck, we have to realize that the future we're living in today has been in the making for a long time. So let's head back to 2016 and see just how far the roots of today's AI revolution really go.
All right. How everybody's doing today? Great. All right. Well, before we get started, I want to tell a quick story, how I met Rene. So I think it was 2011, we're trying to figure out the dates. I was at a seed proposal event at the CIFE organization at Stanford, and a lot of PhD students were presenting their seed proposals for research for the next year, and Rene was one of them. So Rene and I were sitting in the back with a couple other folks, and he was antsy, and he's kind of like, Rick, I got to show you something, man. He's like, let's go in the back. So we go in the back office, and he presents his big idea, his point of departure around this concept, and it was really intriguing. And the interesting thing is, innovation, part of the message here is innovation is not easy. If it was easy, then, we wouldn't be talking about innovation. It would just be standard work. But year after year, for 5 years, and for Rene, 55 or 57,000 hours later, we witnessed the evolution of an idea into a solution. And if you think about innovation, if you simply put it in layman's terms, it's about new ways of working. It's about new ways of value creation.
Humans are social creatures that really crave intimacy. Communicating and collaborating is what we do best. And so how do we communicate and collaborate today? For the past 50 years, we've used the exact same approach to one of the core functions of construction, planning and scheduling, with incremental improvements. We use the best knowledge from our superintendents and our project managers, and we put that into the system, and we get one or two options. What does that give you? It's extremely effort intensive. It takes 4 months, 5 months for mega projects, a few weeks for a regular project. At the end of it, you get one lonely dot. Somebody comes and says, hey, this project is going to cost $51 million in 750 days, right? Well, how good is that? Is that fast? Is that cheap? How close to critical is this solution? How close to the fastest possible completion time are we, right? How does this dot compare to all the other dots?
What are the dots I'm talking about?
Well, Rick, time is the only true unit of measure. Time gives legitimacy to our existence. And so how do we use our time today? Let's take a simple example project that takes a week to schedule. Today we spend about 3 days authoring the plan, right? And then If we're lucky, we get a couple of days to explore what ifs, to communicate and collaborate. And sometimes we'll get one other dot, right? That's what we do today.
Does that lead to the best possible plan for our customers, for our teams? Does it really? So let's take a step back. We always learn from our past to understand where we need to go in our future. In the late 90s, Mortensen took on a project that was coined the unbuildable. And we built that project on time and budget. When you take on a project that every line in that building was curved and every surface was curved, and the architects, Frank Gehry, delivered a 3D model as the contract document, and 2D drawings were reference. It required us to take a different approach of how we were going to take on this project as a contractor. And how are we possibly going to communicate the knowledge that's in the superintendent's minds and the planner's minds to all the stakeholders, all the partners that we have to help us build this project? Well, necessity breeds innovation, right? And we love to say that at Mortensen. And a key part of our innovation program is partnering. In 1998, we searched out knowledge outside of what we were comfortable with and partnered with Walt Disney Imagineering, Dr. Ben Schweigler from Disney, one of the chief scientists, and Dr. Martin Fisher from the CIFE organization at Stanford. And with that, we had a bunch of PhD students and a couple of aerospace engineers on the job site working together to develop a 4D model. And the 4D model was kind of like a kind of launch point, a pivotal point for us as an organization and the industry. 20 years later, 4D is used across the world. It was an aha moment for us in 1998 to 2000 when we actually were leveraging this 4D model to communicate and collaborate with all the stakeholders. Part of the challenge was it took a long time to actually get to the authoring portion to create this visual, but through the visual schedule, the technology allowed our teams to be more human. And what we're good at as being humans is to communicate and collaborate to solve problems.
Like we said, human beings are really social creatures.
So let's fast forward to today. I think we all can agree that the one constant in life is change, right? But anyways, the other thing that's amazing in our industry, there's more money in VC funding pouring into the AEC industry. There's a huge explosion of technology, and there's a lot of noise with that. And the other thing that trips me up is today is the slowest rate of change we'll have experienced in our lifetimes.
So what does that mean?
Imagine what's next. Now.
These technologies are happening now. They're happening at Stanford, at Google, and many other companies in Silicon Valley and around the world. AI, VR, artificial intelligence, machine learning, these things are coming at us at the speed of light. But hold on. Some people think that machines are going to take our jobs in the next 50 years, right? Really? Do you guys believe that? No. Humans aren't going anywhere. I think there's been one too many Terminator movies.
Yeah, completely agree. The job site in 2050 will have humans. But we got to think about how can we repurpose our people to provide more value. And what we talk about at Mortensen, what keeps me up at night, what happens when the designer and the computer becomes the integrated team? And they start delivering 50 iterations of the design, and then we have to provide an estimate, we have to provide a schedule, an analysis for constructability. When do you think that's going to happen? It's happening already. This is a video from Nate Holland from 2011 as part of his thesis from the University of Nebraska. See what I'm saying? This is happening already. What are you doing about it? Are you going to be prepared for it in the next couple of years? That is the key reason why, as part of our program, we partner. Because we have to understand where that puck is going and be ready for it. I know a lot of designers in this room, and we work on projects with you that we're seeing you leverage generative design and computational design, and it scares us as a contractor, believe me. Innovation starts with a simple concept of idea to innovation. And it starts with a simple question of what if? What if we were able to spend less time authoring and more time collaborating as humans? What could we achieve? Right? When the computer is doing the number crunching and all the work, and we're interfacing as humans to truly test our assumptions. Our superintendents, our planners, our VDC people, our project engineers, they're working in a platform that allows us to spend more time interfacing, really finding the best possible solution, exploring multiple dots. Each dot is a 4D schedule. Each dot represents a time and cost. It's amazing because it was an aha moment. An aha moment just like we had in 1998 or 2000 when the introduction of 4D changed the way we approached the problem. This is a promising technology. The technology is one thing. It's amazing what it can do, but it's really about what it does to us as humans. It provides us more time to spend more value at a time focused on collaboration and solutioning. So let's take a look at a project. We started testing and playing with Alice in late 2016, and this was the first pilot project, the first time Alice was used in a real construction project at this size. Rene is going to talk a little bit about some of our findings.
So in the course of a single afternoon, the Mortensen team was able to generate 66 million schedules in about 3 or 4 hours, representing 22 different construction strategies. As you can see, 3 very different approaches to building it. There was a lot of discussion on wedding cake or core out, or wedding cake or core first. And I remember sitting there and one of my colleagues said, "Why don't I just run it?" I said, "How long is that going to take?" And he's like, 20 minutes. All right. And so you can see that this Alice selected the best 50 schedules out of the 66 million. And you can see that each of those schedules, those dots, comes with its own 4D and a Gantt chart. The Mortensen team was able to shorten duration by 6 weeks simply by adding a couple of crews in the right place at the right time. Software enables to explore bottlenecks and have a deeper understanding of what you're working on. What the software enables is exploring multiple approaches, right, and really sort of tying in knowledge from all the parties, right? The result is that humans are spending more time collaborating and communicating, right? And there's more confidence in the results of the project. What's interesting about the multi-dot universe is that it's less about finding the best dot and more about learning from each run and improving your approach to construction. What Alice provides is a systematic way to do this, a systematic way to ask what ifs. As you can see, that's a lot of what ifs for one afternoon and a heck of a lot of dots. So I guess the only real question is, are you guys ready for the multi-dot universe? Thank you.
Right.